I was actually surprised that my last ghost story got the reaction that it got because I really didn't expect people to believe me. I don't really expect people to believe this one. It's less believable than that one, but I do have witnesses. I'm gonna keep this one quick, but to tell you this story, I have to tell you about the house. There's a ton of facts I can tell you about the house, but we're gonna focus on three. One, you can tell it had been renovated multiple times, like it wasn't supposed to be a house. Like it had been some units or some other things. It was a few other things before it was meant to be a house. Two, I'm gonna describe them as strange carvings somewhere in the house. I can touch on that a little bit more, but not for this story. Number three, the next door neighbors already assumed that we moved in before we had moved in because they saw lights, despite the lights not being on, and heard music. I actually think that the neighbors were trying to tell us multiple different times that something was up and we just didn't catch it until later, but there's gonna be a lot more instances of things that it didn't make sense until later. My side of the house had the most activity. There's a little den area and then French doors, bedroom. The den area always sounded like a party was going on. Like it always just sounded like a party going on in the next room. Sometimes in the middle of the night, they just look at each other like, why is it just so loud? So much was going on. But by the time we were aware, this story happens before we were really aware. The relationship that I'm in now was new and baptized. So we're talking on the phone late at night, cupcaking, falling asleep on the phone, and like the cute stuff like that. At this time, what I remember was I was falling asleep. She's like on the bed and not really looking at the phone, but like he's looking at his phone playing a video game and talking with it. Like that. This was early on in the relationship. I didn't want him to see me looking crazy, so I remember being like, I don't know if I'm sleeping on the phone, and he sees that I'm drooling or something crazy. So I'm laying down with my head on the pillow, and I have the phone next to the pillow facing upwards. So I can see him, but he can just see darkness because it's just pointed straight up at the ceilings. The ceilings were very high, so it was just darkness. Okay, I'm gonna try my best to describe this. So I'm falling asleep. For some reason, I decided
The Inside Track features the top fillies and mares racing for glory. Come enjoy the thrill of horse racing. New races every few minutes.
I'm just trying to figure this out now. This is like maybe 2 seconds of me looking at it and trying to understand what I'm looking at. I think my brain just really makes sense of it. And I see my eye like slowly.
How can I help you?
Out of the camera and fade into darkness. At this time, he's
Take
playing
your
the game
time.
and he looks over. I see him see it as if backing up. Then he just like looks back at the game and he's continues playing the game. I'm starting to realize something is off, but it's still fairly new in the relationship, and I don't want to scare you. I don't really talk to anybody about what we have been experiencing in the house and which like lived in the house, right? I was definitely not telling him because I didn't want to scare him off. So I'm like, if he doesn't say anything, I'm not going to say anything. You hear him say something that's crazy. So I remember having face me talking about something on the game, so I'm like, what are you saying? Like, you know what saying that. Like, I remember you being like, I just saw your face for a second. And you were being like, and I said, so he said that first. But that didn't happen until maybe 6 months after I moved out of that house. We didn't put together a lot of things until later. Well, I have two big ones that have personally happened to me. One of them is super scary. The other one is nice, and I'm gonna tell you the nice one first. Okay, so the hypothesis. Spooky things have always happened to me. So, and 99% of the unexplainable things that have happened to me have also been in her presence. She's just one of those, like, magnets for this kind of thing. So, my mom's best friend from childhood passed away when they were in their early 20s. Later, my little brother, my son, was born on the birthday of this
Okay, we're attempting.
I was born with like 4 concurrent congenital heart conditions. So his early life, first couple of years of life, he was in and out of the hospital, having heart surgery, heart blocks, all that kind of stuff. On Valentine's Day one year, my father got me someone just like this crappy, stuffed heart from a gas station. And when I saw on his hand, it would play this song, and the song was like, and we started having this thing every year, pretty much every year on my brother's birthday, most of the friend's birthday. On Christmas, or anytime my brother was going to have kind of big procedure in the hospital, his heart would go off by itself. And it would make down batteries, just randomly would hear them when something big was going on, particularly with my brother, or things. So I knew about the fire. I knew that this would happen sometimes. Still keep it nice, right? Because it seemed to be the best thing. Says, one day, me and Miss Agatha come along and we were just sitting on the stairs. She was fully laundry or something, just talking. And she's telling me about this dream she had about her best friend come one night. And there were a lot of unanswered questions kind of around this particular kind of stuff. And, Mr. Home was really missing her one night. My father has an terror, so he'll often kind of go to sleep on the couch if he's having a bad night, so he doesn't disturb my son and always close the bedroom door behind him. In this particular dream, Mr. Hahn dreamt that the door was closed, my father wasn't there, and her friend comes in the door, kind of opens something by the third, and they just talk. And she told me that this felt so real that she finally answered all the questions that she had surrounding her death and got to express how much they missed each other, and it was just really calming and soothing for her to have that sort of final conversation with her friend. She wakes up the next morning from the stream and the door is open. As if in the dream her friend had opened the door. So she's telling me this really meaningful dream he had with her friend. And we're both holding laundry, and she calls her through the laundry, and she goes, wait, hold on. And from upstairs, in the nursery, where the phone is, as we're talking about his friend, we both hear, some chills down his spine, because we were talking about her. She knew we were talking about her. This thing off. And it was just this kind of I'm here. However, I was 16 and I was scared cat and I was seeing her, so I walked in and I was like, hi. Please believe it. Thank you. Love you, bye.
Asshole!
Okay, so I have a couple stories, but there's one main one that I will never forget. It will always freak me out. And it happened in my house when I was in high school. So I'll share the first story that led up to this main event, and then I'll talk about what really happened. So basically, I was in 6th grade, and I was having a sleepover with my friend, and I had no idea what a Ouija board was. No one ever told me. This was like, early 2000s at this point. In I just wasn't executing on it. And so once we did 6th grade, we did a board game. I'm like, yeah, board game. Like, let's try something new. And so we were playing it. Music was really good at that. We were asking some silly questions like, what are we going to do with another, And it wasn't really saying a whole lot. But looking back on it, something that kind of freaks me out is when we asked who we were talking to, it went to a zine. And I'm not going to talk any further on that. If you already know. And so we went upstairs to go get some, runners, some snacks, stuff like that. And Jen's asking, like, what are you guys doing downstairs? And we said, we're playing Ouija board. And my parents were like, no, absolutely not. We're not playing that. Please stop doing it. And so we went downstairs, we closed it up, and we're followed after that. Freaking out. So we went some places that night. Nothing crazy, honestly. It wasn't like a super dramatic thing. But for years, I started hearing voices. I started seeing some things like people calling out my name in the middle of the night. I saw somebody in the closet, just like random things here and there. I vividly remember when I was younger. This was middle school now. I don't remember the exact time, but my siblings were young, and we were home alone. My parents were traveling one night, and so we were coming back home. We were alone. Our babysitter left, and for some reason looked down to the right. And so that's where our hallway was. I mean, a really long single hallway, and then our doorway was facing where that hallway was. And so we all look over at the same time. It was the weirdest thing. And we see this man, like this really, really tall man, standing there. And all of us say nothing. And we see this man turn and walk down the hallway. And so I looked at them and I'm like, did you see that? And they're like, yeah. And I don't know what made us do this, but we went throughout the houses really trying to find if there was a man in the house. And you didn't see any room. It's something that you're supposed to do. Like, don't do that. But for some reason, that was, the mindset at the time. And we searched everywhere. Nothing was there. So there was no man. And we had just seen some random in our house and disappeared. And so for years after that, nothing crazy really happened. Sometimes I hear somebody walking in the house when I was home alone. More like in the middle of the night, but I'm just trying not to give it any mind. And this is where the main event happens. So my brother passed away when I was in high school. And he lived in Tennessee with, another family. My parents are in Montana. So that's all the family. He told me the news, and I flew off for the funeral. And so the day after the funeral, when I was flying home, my sister lost her keys. And I went to the bathroom. She says things in weird faces. So she'll go over and have a little closet just to see if she dropped it. Trying to find, where the keys are so we can leave and go to the stairs before I get out of it. And I don't know what it was, but I felt such a difference in the air, like the atmosphere went cold. I can't describe it. But if you experience something like this, it's a very eerie feeling. I felt like I was isolated, even though there were 3 other people in the house. But I was alone in that room, and all of a sudden I felt like metaphorically crib in the closet, and I heard my name being called with my mother's voice. And it's like time stopped. I knew it wasn't him, because I thought that if it really was him, I wouldn't be freaked out. I wouldn't be feeling such a dark, gross feeling. I'm already emotional because, I loved my brother and he had just passed away. And so hearing his voice was like weird. And he was emotional for me. And I ran out of that room because I felt like whatever was happening to me was not him and it wasn't safe. So I ran out and my stepmom, who kind of hung for me for 10 minutes, and I didn't hear her. So literally, it's like time had stopped. So I told him about this, that confessing your language that he hadn't talked to me, and I'm like, but it wasn't him, like, this is the movie, it wasn't him, right? And so I don't know, next day, nothing happened.
Oh my God, I love this.
Like, you know, I'm sad. And I talk to him sometimes, you know, at that point I still do, but you know, at this latest story, I was talking to him sometimes, and whenever it was that talked to me at my stepmom's house, followed me to my house in Minnesota. So I was in Tennessee, that's where the first event happened. Come back to Minnesota. I'm at mom's house where, you know, the Ouija board thing had happened, where she had arrived. So I go back with her. I didn't really want to live upstairs, right? And so that's where like the front door is, like right around the time is right next to the front door. And so we have a staircase going downstairs, and that's where our parents live sitting in front. My mom would stay upstairs and chit-chatting in the main area until, you know, sometimes later in the night. Just getting positive sense is very crafty person. So I went to bed when she was, you know, kind of within the vicinity of felt safe. What I did was I was close the doors and close the blinds before I went to bed because I was as well freaked out. And I sometimes experience sleep paralysis, and you know, I was already kind of on edge about that. So closing my eyes, closing the doors, and I had my radio on, and I started, you know, kind of dozing off, and my radio sounds slower and like distorted all of a sudden, and I'm like, something's about to happen. And it did. So I felt like I heard the doors opening, and I was like crazy, like there's nobody else out there. But it was both doors, like my closet door and my door to my bathroom. And I heard opening. And I'm like, there's not two people in my room. Like there's no way. And I didn't even hear my room door open, the main door. And so I keep it up until I'm sleep paralysis. I can't do anything. I can't talk. I can't open my eyes. I can't move. And all of a sudden, I feel myself getting up. And I'm like, this isn't me. This isn't me. And so I feel myself get out of bed. Like, but I don't feel like I'm in control of my own body. And I feel myself, like, you know, reach my hand out for my door. And I feel the door knob. I start, you know, opening the door. And all of a sudden, I hear my brother's voice come from my bathroom. And he's saying, I didn't talk to you. And I don't know how, but somehow, someway, I was able to talk to him, and I'm like, no, get out. Like, I know this isn't you. I don't want to hear it. And I don't know what it was, but it was like, okay, I'll leave. Like, okay, you'll leave. Okay. But here I am, like, kind of traumatized because, you know, it's my brother's voice. And it's still breathing. This is only a couple months after it's passed. And so I'm like, what if it was my brother? And like, here you are, and I'm going for so long, thinking, like, what if it was him? Like, maybe it was that crazy feeling again. And I'm like, you know what, if this is really my brother, there is no way that he would do this to me, that he would, like, freak me out, that he would, like, try to do all this stuff. Like, there's just no way. I feel like he would come and try to peacefully talk to me and have a conversation. But, you know, that's a whole other conversation. And so I opened my eyes. Like, after I mustered up courage, you know, I opened my eyes, and all my doors are open. All of them. And nobody was upstairs. My mom was, like, fast asleep with this plane. It was, like, midnight. And I noticed there was a doors on. But this other happening, it still freaks me out to this day. My door don't open. Wow. This is your mom that's gonna have me make her life, and I was really thinking of making a video today, but I feel like I need to get out of my system because I have been welling up with tears and having full body chills from being scared. You know, I didn't realize that never happens to me, so I feel like I just need to get out of my system. So this is that story. This happened 4 years ago. I was a freshman in college, and it was my mom's break time, and she caught me when I was coming home for religion from college, and he asked if she could take me surveys as the yes gets me. I was so like multiple miles away. New Year's New Year. Yeah, you get the gist. So we get through the originally parts of this Watch Tower, we were walking the Watch Tower, so we were lucky. We were up to my first night. I am afraid of heights. Me and Cal are exchanging from the small mermaid, and I'm gonna be like, hey, I don't know this, but I have for you. I don't know this, it's good. So I was like, oh, I actually thought you might be scared, so I answered it to wait for us to go look at the stars. Well, we have to left through the woods. Usually, and before I get any comments about that, I know, okay, I know. The only reason why is because it's like a minute and a half to the woods. Perfect, minute and a half, no worries. I shouldn't have listened to him because it was a 10-minute walk. After all, it is so dark in those effing woods, and you cannot even see Earth in front of your face. After the woods, I'm doing fine. My other fear is the dark. Being a grown woman, I am exponentially scared of the dark. Like, obviously scared of the dark. We're walking, we hear a fence, and not just any fence, a dog by fence. And this time, my eyes are fully adjusted in the dark, and at the distance, I can see a dog. But it's not, it's it's just this big middle structure that was cool the song was happening. And I'm really asking, is this somebody's name? She doesn't really answer me with most of the days is someone's name because I'm not going to get shouted. It was not they're asking on the side neighbors of like which you're doing on their way. They were just appreciating because they know who you are and they're like popular. And it wasn't what's your name. If I really do this, I'm not trespassing on someone's name. Like, no thanks. Researching around, I've left in the woods. I have turned on my fear lights, and I'm walking in the dark. No. This is no. Since I leave, like, okay, fine, they can go to car and dirty home. That's my walking. I don't know what it was. Then he got me with so this time. I seem to feel like someone is watching me. And the people is anxiety like me. You know what I'm talking about? And this was different. This was different. This was like one, two rumors in the back of my head. It was extremely simple. And it was so bad that I kept turning around and there was literally no one here. I was fully distance waiting. There was no one there that I didn't see. And I started walking so close to the street and flat down on my shoes, which means I made something out of my shoes and flew a couple of steps and he's doing so bad at me. But then he shaking his glasses off.
Cryptocurrency received, so I guess we have a sale. Transferring now. Long jump.
Is a living human being out there. I don't want them knowing that I feel like human thing is what. And it was really quiet out there. Like definitely silent. And he knew it was me. It's okay if you're anxiety. It's okay. I understand that you're scared of the dark, but everything's gonna be fine. Like there's no one else out here. There's no other cars. Everything's gonna be fine. We take probably 3 steps and start to hear whistling. And immediately this is when my breath literally is taken away. Like I'm like, I can't breathe. And again, he's like ripping me back and he's like, it's okay. Like there is seriously no one else out here. You're gonna be fine. We're walking for maybe a minute. Where the flashlights are out. From our right, a rock doesn't come up. It is thrown out into the middle of the path that we're walking. I mean, like, my goodness, there's no through it. This was a game time decision, right? I left him in the woods. I ran so fast, I left him in the woods. I had never ran faster in my entire life, and only running relays. I ran for a minute. Sprinted for a minute. I get to his car and I'm trying the door handles and I immediately am going through all these scenarios and like, what am I gonna do if this part of my victory is a person in the woods? So I'm trying the door handles and I'm going literally every door. And I'm on the left and all of a sudden I hear him giggling and like driving as far as he uses with The rabbit really scared me. A rabbit. And I probably look disgusting at this point, but I legitimately lost my mind on him. I was like, since when do rabbits pick up laps and murder people? Since when is that ever happened? And at the end of our left, the blue man, and asking him, what do you think that was? What do you think that was? Do you think that was a good person? Do you think that it goes well with that? And I don't think he took me very seriously at the time because he was like, whatever. Needless to say, I never talked to him ever again. And now I will elaborate on why it's so scary to me. I don't think that was paranormal by any means. Because when you experience something paranormal, it's almost like an instantaneous vibe. Right? You're trying to rationalize, you're trying to go through this scenarios in your head on how it is possible that that happened. This was different. I have never felt so fearful in my entire life. And let me ask you this. When you get home late at night, maybe after a night out, when you get home from work, school, etc., what do you think you're going to see when you turn the light on in your room? Probably some decor, probably your bed, your desk, maybe a cat lives there, I don't know. But you anticipate on what you're going to see because you're prepared for what you're going to see. I'm not comparing bedrooms in the woods, but I was not anticipating someone else to be out there because there's no cars out there. There was no way for someone to get out there if they didn't get there before the sun went down. If you catch my drift. And I think there's something, at the end of the day, there's something so deeply frightening about knowing someone was watching you the whole time. And there is something equally as frightening knowing you never saw that. And then you have to think about it for the right things. Like, how is that person filing trenching edges in the woods without making your presence known? How did that person get out into the middle of the woods in the middle of the night? I left a cheap I think still not. And we got in the past. The state trooper from Northern Brooklyn told us that during the last week was like, so it was away. Honestly, and I don't know. This guy was really creepy. And just I'm doing this from my closet because it's from my clips. But stitching this video, there is something that I think about that still gives me the absolute heebie-jeebies. And it's not really something I talked about with other people, other than like my mom. When I was younger, I didn't have video classes at Samurai. And between 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, I had not a resident friend. There was like a real man that I called Mr. Alexander, that I talked to. Stuff like that. And my mom lived in a nursing home in town. She used to be us sometimes. She was just weird. Really was a girl, but it was honestly so just like that. She helped me with and all of it. And really was excellent in the system. Like I told you about, and what I did was everything in her, you could tell that she had definitely seen it, and like she was not lying about that because this is something that really upset her. She proceeds to swab this man, and my mom right away was like, oh, I know who that is, and what?
That's a successful sale. The funds are transferring. Long John out.
And it was like my stomach dropped. Every hair on my body went. she might not like that, and she really did see this man, and after she described him and kind of like what had happened, so my dad was sitting on the couch, and I was sitting on my bed, and I had a couch in my room, and she said this man kind of like walked by, but was at the end of the couch with her feet, and kind of like that. She's awake, she's seen me, and just kind of like stood out, basically, like turned around and like walked out. And that's why she thought it was like somebody that wasn't supposed to be like my boyfriend, because it was like, oh no, I got caught.